Welcome to Finca Live. We're Sharon and Andy, just two people with a dream and a vision of restoring our traditional stone-built farmhouse in southern Spain, transforming it into a beautiful off-grid home and sharing our journey with you.
Welcome back everyone to sunny southern Spain. We've got a slightly different view today because we're not at the finca, we're at our friend's house on the outskirts of the village. As you can see, we've got a fantastic view as usual. What we're going to be doing today is building a partition wall. They've got a big hallway in the house that's pretty much a massive waste of space really. So right at the end by the front doors that they don't use, we're going to build them a partition wall so they can have a little office at the end there, turn it into a useful space. So let's crack on. This is the hallway in question. We're going to be putting a wall across here because that space there is a complete waste of time. So we're going to turn it into something useful. The first thing we need to do, we're just going to build a stud partition, timber framework, plasterboard it. The first thing we need to do is to get these tiles off the bottom to give us a clear flush fit up to the wall on both sides, and we're going to try and do it without breaking them. Like that. We're going to use these to line the front of the stud wall when it's in. Plus the ones out of the bedroom because we're going to be tiling that wall where we're putting the fireplace in. Yeah, so see if we can get this one off the same. The next thing is to cut one to the bottom and go across there. Right now, so we've got the bottom in, we've got two uprights in the sides. This is just knocked in to wedge them in place. We're not going to fix these to the walls after the last, we can see alright with the light in here, after the last electrical experience because we don't know where the wires go. We're just going to bond them to the wall on both sides. First of all, get them in the exact position we want, vertical, square. We've not got a lot of width to play with, just going to draw a line down and then we can stick them back exactly to that line. Right, so they're glued and wedged in place. I've just dropped the top one on, which isn't actually the top one, but the top of this bit. I'm just going to fire a couple of screws through it, and then a couple of screws through the bottom. We've got to be careful at the moment because where the adhesive's gone on, it's because very, very slippy, so it doesn't move. We've given it a few minutes to tack off. So we'll see if we can get some screws in here. Lovely, that's one on the other side now. Right, okay, top's in. I just need now to fire some screws through all the joints and lock it all up. And hopefully the adhesive will be set enough for us to carry on and put the verticals in. But I'll get some screws in all these first. so far so good. Next, for the verticals, we're going to put them at 40 centimetre centres. The boards are 1200. The insulation that's going in is 40 centimetres. So I'll put these at 40 centimetre centres, and that should line up perfectly to get the edge of the board. We've got a full board on, then we'll obviously have to cut one for the end, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So I'll mark these out and get these fixed in. Right, so all the verticals are in, looking somewhat light now. Next is the noggins. They're horizontal ones that go between them to tighten it all up and lock it all up. Just put them alternate, stagger it. We'll see in a minute. I'll get on with it. Fantastic. All the noggins are in. It's ready for plasterboarding. And put a bit more adhesive on the sides. Sorry if it's a bit dark. It's a weird light in here. Just to lock it all in place. And yeah, that's another good job well done. Alrighty, it's freezing cold this morning. It's forecast to be freezing cold all week. It was the same this time last year. Right, we're going to start putting these boards on. Get them on the far side first, then stick the insulation in, and then do this side. That's the theory. Right, okay, one side's finished. Now this side we're going to put the insulation in the things as we go and then board this side. So this is the insulation we're using. It's a recycled glass apparently, and it says it's comfortable for installation because some of it, I like to use rock wool, but oh, it makes you itch, you know, it drives you crazy sometimes. This stuff's supposed to be a lot better. It's thermal insulation and sound insulation, acoustic insulation as well. Hello babies, I've got two helpers as well today. So we're going to open it up and start sticking it in the wall. So all we do with this, just shove it into where we want it, find the height that we want and just cut through it with a Stanley knife. There's it gone, there it goes. Just like that. And it goes in there. Just squish it in. And then I'll carry on. The layers are coming on and off today. Right, so with that all in, we can get the first of our boards on, which is a full one. Oh! Just fits. As you can see, like everything else in Spain, nothing's square. I'll just pack it up at this end and then get some screws in it. So I'll see if I can hold it. Perhaps not. Okay, just the top one to do. We just need to measure, mark and cut the board. If anyone's running out to cut plasterboard sheets, I'll show you. So all we do, measure the board. Get the top off my pen. Mark it once. Mark it twice. Take our straight edge and our sanding knife. Score it all the way down. Lift it up, snap it like that, and just cut down the back. And there it is. Right, so that's in nicely. All I need to do is put some screws in it. Alright, so we're going to try something new here. Not new for new, but new for Europe generally. Generally with plasterboard, we take the joints, seal them, and then put a skim coat all over it. But having seen a lot of places in the States and stuff, they just fill the joints, mud in it, do they call it, sand them flat, and just paint it as it is. So, I've got some stuff here, which is for filling plasterboard joints. I'm just going to try a little bit and then come back to it tomorrow and see if we can sand it, see what it looks like. Yes, we don't know if it's right or not, but we'll give it a go. So, slap it on and see what happens. It is pretty good, tough stuff actually. So, let's have a look. And it's on the floor already. Excellent. Yeah, I'll just let that go off and see how it works. Right, it's a new day. Look who's back.
Good morning.
After an epic journey.
Yeah, obviously you know the reason I went back, so I won't go into that. Very sad time, but yeah, got to the airport, looking forward to coming home, seeing all the babies and Andy of course, and then we were delayed 5 hours. I was sat at the airport.
A little bit of snow.
I left the house and left my mum's, got on the bus, and it was fine. And by the time I got to the airport, everywhere was white over. It was unbelievable, the pace at which it came down and settled quickly. And of course, being the UK, they weren't prepared for it at all. So they had one.
It had been forecast.
Even though it was forecast, they've got one snow plough which was going up and down the runway, not really doing very much. So yeah, I had to sit in the bar and have a couple of glasses of wine, which was a bit of a shame. And 5 hours later, we actually took off. So glad to be back, and
we're glad to have you back.
Thank you.
And so yeah, and the wall, by the way, where we left off just before, the guys have decided they're going to do the filling and painting themselves, which is fab because it releases me, and I don't really like that sort of thing anyway.
No.
It's not my special
not
wet things I don't do at all. So yeah, that's happy days, but the fire in the bedroom will be coming up in the future. And on top of the happy news, we also have some very sad news. The other morning, yesterday morning was it, I woke up and poor old goat has passed. We just found him in the morning. You know, so a bit of a...
Poor donkey's feeling it a bit. He's lost his friend.
He's a bit lost, so we need to
think about getting a little friend for him. But Alfie's out and about now because he was confined to the courtyard, but he keeps going over the roof anyway, so we've let him out into the big boy world, and he's been keeping Donkey company a little bit. So yeah, very sad, but we don't even know how old he was, you know, and he'd had a bit of a rough life before he came to us, so you know, but anyway, just thought we'd let you know that.
Yeah, so anyway, onwards and upwards, life still goes on, as they say. We've been having a good big discussions about 2023, which has not got off to a great start. No. How we're going to take it forward and what we want to get achieved. And I think one of the first things we want to do is get this floor done down in here.
Really need to get this sorted out because it's so dusty.
Yeah, and we've been deliberating what to. I've been deliberating what to do, scratching my head for a year because it slopes. Not that you can tell. And it's uneven everywhere, and I think I'm going to we want a wooden floor down, but I think I'm going to put a floating tongue and groove floor down, a proper floorboard floor, but rather than trying to put joists down which will lift the floor, which we've got a very low door over there, blah blah, I think I'm just going to put a floating floor with insulation on top of this. So that's going to be coming up soon.
Yes.
We want to get the courtyard finished.
We do, most definitely, because before we know where we are, spring will be here, and we'll be wanting to sit out there. And then, of course, some are too hot, so that needs to be done.
So that's another one coming up very soon. And then I think when we've got those little jobs done, which hopefully won't take too long, we want to be looking at the downstairs area. Yes, one of the next things we'd like to do is this. We're standing in the kitchen. That's the corral. Just there, you can see the nice bright, because it's got windows and glass in it, and it's lovely and warm. The sun coming through. It's bitterly cold at the moment in the wind.
It is actually. I was thinking, coming back from the UK, I was going to be boiling, and it's freezing.
So, we're standing in the kitchen, and that way is to the room we're going to have as a little snug. We're going to put a fire in there, a couple of chairs, little table, cosy evenings. Yes. And this area backs onto the courtyard. I hope it makes kind of sense. So we've got the courtyard out there. This is going to be a kitchen. We've got the old bread oven in the corner down there, and the corral behind us, and our snug here. So it would be a lovely area for summer and for winter, with the kitchen, snug, and the courtyard. There's a lot of work to be done. A massive amount of work to be done, actually.
I don't know, can you see the ceiling?
Yes.
That's all got to be cleaned up. All those beams have got to be cleaned up and painted. So that'll be my job, no doubt. Yeah, lots to do.
Floors, walls, windows.
Worth it when it's done. Yeah.
So this is the snug. It's just full of junk and storage stuff at the minute. We're going to put a couple of little armchairs there. You can see the old chimney breast there, which still works. Nice wood burning stove in there for the winter. One of the original doors is just to me right there, your left. That's going to be coming out, going to be stoned up halfway with a nice window in it. And we're going to put a door. There's already a door down the little passageway here. So just to seal this area off, and then the rest of the house then we can access through the front door, whereas this is better accessed this way.
So back into the kitchen, we're a different direction this time. Behind me is the old bread oven that we want to clean up and use that. This is all going to be a bit like it is now, worktop and cupboards underneath. To the right is that little window. At the moment there's no glass in that, so we've been keeping it closed all winter to try and keep us a little bit warmer in here. So that'll have a nice some nice glass in that, make it a lot brighter, because at the moment we just have to have the light on, it's so dark in here. To my left, you will have seen this before, but excuse all the mess, we are living in a building site, but this is going to be a nice seat. We've ordered some foam and some nice upholstery material, and we're going to have a nice padded seat with a back on it here, and then we've got a beautiful piece of live edge wood which Andy's going to make into a nice dining table for us, which will go about here, with a better light than that above. We need to think what we're doing with that, but the shelves here, then we might keep them and just kind of box them in somehow, because they are very, very useful, but at the moment they just collect dust because everything's open and everything's very dusty. So yeah, that's just to give you an idea. You've seen it all before, but it's say start of a new year. This is our plans for 2023. So we're back in the corral, and that's it for this video, folks. Thank you so much for watching. We hope shortly to be back to 2 videos a week, but for now we're going to stick with the one, just while we get ourselves organised. Yeah. So yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you to all our subscribers and anyone that's watching us for the first time. If you like what you see, please do consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you to all our supporters, our Patreons, everybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we'll certainly see you on Thursday.
Yeah, see you Thursday.